Challengers, hello. I wanted to give you a little bit of advice as you get ready to go to the grocery store and embark on your meal planning. So, number one, if you haven't already sat down and done your meal plan, that's step one. I need you to decide what are you having this week. And if meal planning is brand new to you, I want you to anticipate that it's going to take some time. But I also want you to not feel like I have to make a different meal every day and a different breakfast every day. I don't want you to make this overwhelming. So if you are brand new to meal planning, I'm giving you permission to say, we're having the same 2 or 3 things this week until I can get the hang of this, and then it gets easier. So I want you to decide, what is it that you're having? And then when you decide, I want you to write it down, whether it be on a piece of paper or a dry erase board or typed up or whatever works best for you. And I want you to put it somewhere visual so that your whole family knows this is what we're doing. These are the meals. Don't ask me if we can get pizza. We're having spaghetti squash or whatever it is. And I want you to put it there not only as a reminder to them, but also as a reminder to yourself that, hey, I invested my time in my goals and I need to stick to the meal plan in order for that to happen. So put it there, and then I also would encourage you to put it maybe in your phone or somewhere. Like, I always love to print mine off and carry it with me so that I'm not tempted to say, oh, I'm just gonna say forget it and I'm just gonna eat whatever I want. In the times whenever you want to be really strict and see these results, you need to stick with that meal plan. Now, when you make that meal plan, I want you to sit down at the same time with your grocery list, and I want you to write down everything you need ingredient-wise for the meals this week. And then I'm going to challenge you to do something that may be a little bit difficult. I want you to go to the grocery store solo. Right now is not the time that you take your spouse with you to the grocery store, and it's not the time that you take your children. And this is only if you have the luxury of being able to do that. I realize some of you can't. You have to take your kids with you, or your husband wants to go with you or whatever. But I really want you to try to go solo this week, because what happens when you take children or a spouse is that they love to throw things in the cart. I will tell you right now, my grocery bill is so much cheaper if I go solo. If I take Carter and Kevin, we're gonna rack in an extra at least $50 because they love snacks, they love treats. I see you looking at me down there. My husband's giving me the eye, but it's true. They really help increase the budget, but they also are picking things that aren't on the meal plan, and they're not necessarily gonna help me with the weight loss. So I want you to try to go alone. And when you go alone, I want you to stick to the list. If it's not on the list, don't put it in your cart. Don't get sucked into those things at the end of the aisle. There's always promotions of products that you think you want or need. You don't need it. You need the ingredients to make your food, and you need to stick with whole foods. So what I'm going to suggest that you do when you go to the grocery store is that you shop in the perimeter of the store, meaning you shop in the dairy section, the fruit and vegetable section, the produce. I don't want to see you going in the aisles, the middle aisles. Aside from like the occasional needing kidney beans or maybe some type of sauce, you do not need to be in the center of the grocery store. That's where the chips are. That's where the cookies are. That's where all the things that don't belong in your cart are. Those things aren't food. Those are processed things. So in order for you to see the best results, you got to stay out of those aisles. And again, to do that, it's going to mean you probably should not take your kids with you. Carter will throw a royal fit and try to lay in the middle of the store if he can't pick out a fun cereal. Like, I love him, but I hate taking him to the grocery store. So anyways, when you go, I want to challenge you to make sure that you only buy the things on the list, and I want you to get conscious of ingredients. And that's something that took me so long to learn. It was actually so overwhelming, was learning what is clean eating. Like, 3 years ago, that was a fad word. Everybody was talking about clean eating. And when I sat down to try to figure out what does that even mean, I was really overwhelmed. And looking at labels was overwhelming, and just grocery shopping was overwhelming, because we're so misled by, this is healthy, this is okay, so it's organic, but is it healthy? No, not always. Gummies, my son's gummies are organic, but they're not healthy, but they're organic. So you have to be careful, because there's so much marketing that will confuse you. But I want to make this very easy for you. If you turn a package over, I want you to look at the ingredient list. If it has 5 items or less, and you can pronounce all of them, meaning you know what they are, then that's clean eating. When I think of a snack, so for me, I love chips. I would pick chips over sweets any day. When I turn over a bag of potato chips, I can, if I want to treat myself, I can have corn chips. corn chips, the only ingredients in it is like ground corn and typically some type of sunflower oil or some type of oil and salt, and that's it. That's 3 ingredients. I know what they are. Whereas if you flip over the back of a bag of Doritos, which is what my husband would like to buy, there's probably 50 ingredients and some of them have numbers and chemicals, and it's not food, okay? So I just want you to get smart about reading labels, and I want you to make that your goal for the next 30 days, is that when you go to the grocery store, you flip the package over and you try to make sure that you can pronounce what everything is. So if it's a chemical or you don't recognize what it is, don't buy it. It's not serving your body. If you can learn to fuel your body for the next 30 days, only practicing clean eating, you're gonna feel like $1,000,000. This is gonna be really fun to you, and you'll just have so much new energy, and your skin will look great. It's just an awesome thing. So those are my tips for you for the grocery store. If you need help at all, please reach out. Again, I'll be glad to look over your meal plans for you or just give you some guidance. If you need me to make sure you have everything on there that you should be eating, whatever, just reach out. But anyways, I'm wishing you the best, and I can't wait to hear about how the grocery trip goes. Talk to you all soon.